let us study about factoring. The term factoring means controlling and management of receivables. We know that receivables constitute a significant portion of the current assets of a firm. But for investment in receivables, a firm has to incur certain costs such as cost of financing receivables and cost of collection from receivables. And there is also the risk of bad debts. It is therefore very essential to have a proper control and management of these receivables. So, there are two types of problems related to controlling and management of receivables, like the problem of raising funds to finance the receivables and the problem relating to the collection delays and defaults of the receivables. A small firm may handle this problem of receivables management by its own, but it may not be possible for a large firm to do this management of receivables on their own efficiently because it may be exposed to the risk of more and more bad debts. In such cases, a firm may avail the service of certain specialized institutions engaged in receivables management. These specialized institutions are called factoring firms. Now let us check out the mechanism of factoring. There will be the selling firm, and the selling firm makes an agreement with the factoring firms or the factor institutions. And as per this agreement, they will have to give all the sales documents to the factor. After making this agreement with the factor firm, then the sales takes place. Selling firm sells goods to the customer. The agreement between the selling firm and the factor provides the basis and the scope of the understanding reached between the two for rendering the factor services. And the sales documents also contain instructions to make payments directly to the factor who is assigned the job of collection of receivables. So, when the selling firm sells goods to the customer is instructed to make the payment to the factor firm instead of making the payment to the selling firm. And as we all know, this problem arises only in the case of credit sales. In the case of cash sales, at the time of sales itself, the customer is paying cash. So there is no need of managing the receivables. But in the case of credit sales, payment will be done at a date in the future. In these cases, the services of factor firms are availed. So the customers are instructed by these sales documents to pay to the factor firm at the date specified in the sales document. And the sales document is handed over to the factor also. When the payment is received by the factor from the customer, the account of the selling firm is credited by the factor after deducting its fees, charges, interest, etc. as agreed. And instead of paying the selling firm after getting the payment from the customer, instead of that, the factor may also provide advance finance to the selling firm if the conditions of the agreement requires so. So this is how the factoring services takes place. That is, selling firm sells the goods to the customer. Customer, instead of paying the amount back to the selling firm at a future date, they pay to the factor. So the factor is collecting that amount from the customer and then the factor gives that amount to the selling firm. That is how it works. The factors render a number of services to the selling firms. Some of such services include bill discounting facilities, administration of credit sales, maintenance of sales ledger, collection of accounts receivable, credit control, protection from bad debts, provision of finance, and rendering advisory services. Now, a firm that enters into a factoring agreement has got a number of benefits. Let us check out what are these benefits arising out of factoring. It ensures a definite pattern of cash flows from the credit sales. So the firms need not worry about the cash inflows. It will be taken care of by the factor firm. And then it serves as a source of short-term finance. Even though the firm has got some receivables, this finance during this period can be arranged by the factor firm. So they can make use of this finance during the period when the payment is delayed by the customer. It also ensures better management of receivables because the factor firm is a specialized agency for the controlling and management of receivables. So, when a specialized agency is doing it, it will be better than when the actual firm is managing it. So, the firm can concentrate more on its main business. It enables the firm to transfer the risk of non-payments or bad debts. So the firm can transfer all these risks to the factoring firms in the case of non-recourse factoring. So the factoring firms take the risk of these bad debts also. And then it enables the selling firms to concentrate on their important activities because this factoring agreement relieves the selling firms from the burden of credit management. Thus, they can concentrate on their business activities and the management of receivables will be done by the factor firm. They need not worry about the receivables. Another benefit is that it saves the cost as well as space as this is a substitute for in-house collection department. There is no need of maintaining this department inside the firm. The factor firm can do this work from their own office or from their own firm. So, in the selling firm or the firm or the business firm that we have already mentioned, that business firm need not set up an office or a space inside their office for this collection purpose. It will be done in another office. Thus, it saves the cost as well as space. And it also provides better opportunities for working capital management. The selling firm is also benefited by the advisory services rendered by a factor. These many benefits are arising out of factoring agreement. So, most of the big firms who cannot manage their receivables by their own, they go for availing the factor services from a factor firm. Now, since we have got a basic idea regarding the factoring services, let us end up this video lecture here. Thank you for watching this video. For more videos, you can subscribe this channel.